It's time for Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George and Associates.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Ferguson Field behind Lincoln High School in Lincoln, Rhode Island, the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates. Frank Carpano alongside Kyle Rowley. Tonight it is Lincoln High School hosting Moses Brown, the Quakers, and we're dodging some sprinkles here tonight. How about the weather? Could it be a factor if it does rain here?
Absolutely. I think that if it rains, it's working against Moses Brown. Coach Lorenzo Perry, new head coach, putting in a spread offense, which does not fare well in the weather. So I think that would go to Lincoln if it starts to rain here.
All right, we spent some time speaking with both of the coaches and talked about their strategy coming into this game. So let's talk about the keys to the game. First for the visiting Quakers, for Moses Brown.
Yeah, Moses Brown's got a little bit of injuries going on up front. Plus they've got this new offense where they're trying to air the ball out if they can. They've got to protect the quarterback primarily. On defense, I'd say just stop the run. If they can stop Lincoln's run, they're in very good shape.
And for the Lions?
I would say all interior stuff. They are a run-heavy team with a strong linebacking crew. So if they can win in the interiors, they're all set.
Well, one thing that both these teams have in common, they lost a lot of players from last year, so a lot of new faces out there and new guys that we're going to be keeping an eye on. So players to watch. Let's start with Moses Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at Eric Jeffries, freshman starter. He is the most dangerous guy on the field. He can take anything all the way if you're not doing well tackling, and Lincoln's had some trouble tackling in week one.
And for Lincoln?
I would say John Nichols is the guy to watch. They've literally moved him from quarterback to running back, not because he got demoted. He got promoted, and now he's going to have to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
And the great sidelight to that story is that he gave away the starting quarterback position too.
Yeah, to his younger brother, Scott. So you never want to give up the quarterback position. I had some problems with that in my high school career, but he did so to help his team.
Must be a lot of fun around that dinner table. All right, so we have Lincoln versus Moses Brown tonight. Friday Night Rivals. We'll kick it off right after this. Yeah, let's do it. Let's come right back then. All right, welcome back to Ferguson Field. Frank Carpano, along with Kyle Rowley, our statistician, Pete Connell, and the officials out on the field tonight. We'd like to introduce those guys to you. The referee is Mike McParland. Umpires Jake Clancy. The lineman is Richard Bertolotz. The back judge is Mike Balsomo. And the line judge, John Coletti. And on the clock here in the booth with us is Trey Lundy. So we are ready to go for the kickoff of tonight's game between the Moses Brown Quakers and the Lincoln Lions. Moses Brown won the toss, deferred, so Lincoln will receive the opening kickoff here tonight on what is Salute to Service night here at Lincoln High School. And that's why you see so many flags out there, although you should always see a lot of flags, a lot of enthusiasm, even though it's kind of a nasty night here in Lincoln. It's been off and on raining, and you can see that the field is a little bit slick. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out on the field. So we're getting ready to kick this one off. Parker Kroll is the kicker for Moses Brown. And back deep for Lincoln is John Nickel and Kyle Dulselt. We talked about how you had some issues on the changes of quarterbacks over the course of your high school career. You went to Bishop Hendrick, and now what happened in those situations?
I was a little bit joking. My brother took over when I was injured my junior year, and did really well, won a state title. So I had to win that job back from my younger brother, Travis, which I didn't talk to him all summer.
Really?
Well, not as much as I normally do.
Did you guys typically work out together, and did you not do it that summer?
No, we were busy. I'm just saying it was a lot of anxiety-ridden summer, and you know, because I was going to start either way at running back, but I wanted that spot.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're going to kick this one off. That ball is away and fumbled down at the 5-yard line. Pick it up, and here comes Lincoln back now. It's number 11, Kyle Dussault, around the left side, and he is dropped. So that is where Lincoln will take over 1st and 10 here on their first offensive series, and one of the selling points to John Nickel, who was QB number 1 last year, was the fact that he was probably going to be touching the ball 3 out of 4 plays on offense. So he'll be seeing a lot of action, and we'll have to see what role he plays here as we get this one started. Lincoln 0-1 coming into this game. Meanwhile, Moses Brown won its opening game last week, beating Shea High School 14-8. Lincoln losing to the other Pawtucket High School, Tolman, by a score of 22-14. All right, first down and 10. And sprinting out and handing off, and right up the middle goes a running play for Lincoln on the very first play, offensive play. And John Nickel, as we mentioned, got the carry on that play and a pickup of about 9 yards.
Scott Nickel to John Nickel, and if we had a nickel for every time we're going to say those names,
how long have you been waiting to say that?
I literally just came up with it.
All right. Ball spotted on the 22-yard line, and about a yard to go for a first down on the second offensive play for these Lions. And the handoff goes to number 1, Jaden Rodriguez, and he gets first down yardage and more before being pushed out of bounds. So they'll move the stakes, be first down here for Lincoln.
And that's who you're going to see there. You're going to see a lot of John Nichols with a change up to Jaden Rodriguez, number 1. Kind of plays the slot. Second-year offensive starter, third-year defensive starter, a talented guy who they'll just be creative and find ways to get him the ball like you saw there on the jet sweep. They'll throw him some screens and get him the ball in space.
All right, pickup of 12 yards. The ball spotted on the 35. First and 10 now, once again for the Lions. Handoff. And breaking through for another first down and then some goes number 10, John Nickel.
Looked like John was going to be stopped in the backfield there, but breaks that first tackle. You can see he's a downfield, shoulders ahead of the run type of guy, and broke 1 or 2 tackles there in the beginning of that run.
12-yard pickup and another first down for the Lions. Right down in front of our press box now on the 47-yard line. Lincoln threatening to get into Moses Brown territory here on their first offensive drive. And there's the handoff, goes to number 11, Kyle Dussault. Dussault around the left side, breaks a couple of tackles, down inside of Moses Brown territory, and finally stops inside of the 35-yard line. Another first down for the Lions.
Kyle Dussault there, number 11. He's another change up. They'll go to him on some jet sweeps as well, as you see him going around the left side. Leader, tough guy, tackler, guy they can really trust with the ball in his hands.
Pickup of 18 yards on that play. And they're moving the ball, these Lions are, on this first offensive drive as we're just underway on week 2 of an 8-week schedule of Friday Night Rivals high school football games. Glad that you're with us.
Dussault had 2 big runs last week, 48 on 6 carries, 48 yards on 6 carries.
First down, handoff around the right side, and that is Jaden Rodriguez. So spreading the ball around a little bit to the running backs for the Lions. And that's a 5-yard pickup and brings about second down. Ben DeCastro is our man on the sideline. Let's hear what he has to say. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Frank, thank you so much. I'm here with the honorary captain tonight. He also has another role. It's called Town Administrator Phil Gould, sir. And you had another role before that, Army Captain,
no,
General?
Just a corporal. I was a corporal in the Army, yes.
So what does it mean to have us here at tonight, NBC 10 with the Friday Night Rivals and you being the honorary captain? We just came for you.
Well, I definitely feel special, but it's great to be out here. It's the fall, it's Friday Night Lights, it's football. It doesn't get better than this, particularly in Lincoln.
You've got a wonderful town here. We'll send it back up to you, Frank. I'm going to have I'm going to promote him to General.
All right, thank you very much, Ben, and thank you, Phil Gould, who was for many years a coach on this football team, and now because of his duties as the town administrator is here as a fan this evening and kind of residing over the salute to service festivities here, was a part of the coin flip and is the honorary captain. So third down after a pickup of maybe a yard on that play, and looks like somebody jumped, and the first flag of this football game.
Yeah, and it comes at a bad time. This is exactly up until this point what Lincoln wants to do, play a ball control style attack. convert third downs, but they had a manageable 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 right there, but that's going to bring up 3rd and 11, which is a situation you don't want to be in.
So after driving deep into Moses Brown territory, losing a few yards in this play, the ball spotted on the 35. As we mentioned, 3rd down and 11. Back to pass, first pass of the game down the middle and almost intercepted. Wow, into a crowd of white jerseys and almost picked off on that play by Nathaniel King. So 4th down coming up here for the Lions, and looks like they're going to go for it in Moses Brown territory here.
Yeah, Scott threw it into a little bit of traffic there, trying to get the seam route to convert that long 3rd and 11, but nothing doing. Moses Brown doing a good job with their DBs swarming to that ball as it let go.
All right, let's see what they cooked up here on 4th down. And the handoff goes to Kyle Dussault. Dussault trying to find the edge and then is pushed out of bounds short of a 1st down. So Moses Brown will take over on downs here with 7:32 to go in the 1st quarter. Get to see them on offense for the first time, and their quarterback is Gavin Marsh. Narragansett transfer, 1st year here at Moses Brown.
Moses Brown defense does a good job right there. What they want to do that all night. Bend a little bit, don't break, don't let them get deep into the red zone. Make plays when you can on 3rd and long, and that's exactly what Moses Brown did. We'll see how they come out here in the 2nd week of their season. Gavin, a run-first guy. He's a dual-threat quarterback. You'll see him sprint out, do a little bit of plays from the pocket as well.
Marsh from the shotgun, man in motion. And the handoff on 1st down and right up the middle. Goes the run, and that's a pickup of about 8 yards on that play.
Looks like Mason Tokar's there, straight up the gut. Does a good job just getting downfield, getting what he can, putting his head down at the end of that run.
Captain on this Quaker squad. That coach told us that don't be surprised if he's carrying the ball 20 times here in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And every time Gavin Marsh puts the ball in his stomach, he'll have the option to pull it. So keep an eye out for that as well. The quarterback is a runner as well.
Another handoff on 2nd down, and looks like that's stopped short of the 1st down on 2nd down and 2. So 3rd down, no gain on that play. Oh, actually, no, they just signaled some confusion. Looked like the lead official signaled 1st down, and they are moving the sticks.
A lot of downhill running so far in this game from both teams. You'll see Moses Brown. They'll try to air it out a little bit more, a lot more spread set. They've got 3 wideouts in the game, a running back and a slot there, or 4 wideouts.
The handoff round the corner, trying to find some room is number 11, Matthew Ziadi. And Ziadi picks up another 1st down as they get into Lincoln territory. So the Quakers with an alpine ski and snowboard 1st down.
Great job by Ziadi there. You know, what Moses Brown's going to do, and the whole idea of the spread offense, is make you cover 53 or 54 yards of field. That's how wide that football field is, and they want to make you stay patient, stay home, so they can take advantage.
Well, they're bringing that one back because there's a holding call that goes against Moses Brown here. So unfortunately, that puts a crimp in the drive. And that ball all the way back at the 31-yard line.
See here, that run just gets around the edge there. A little bit of holding on the edge. Once those D ends or outside linebackers turn their body outside, you kind of got to let them go.
Nice. 2nd down and long now for the Quakers. Handoff up the middle and into a crowd. Pickup of about 3 yards on the play. It's Moses Brown squad. 32 kids on the roster, one of the smaller rosters that we will see this year on Friday Night Rivals, if not the smallest.
Yeah, Moses Brown doesn't historically have a ton of guys on the team, but this one, extremely tight roster, makes for some problems in the summer. We talked to Coach Lorenzo Perry just as far as how he gets guys out, and with Moses Brown as well, a lot of guys out on vacation, he said, and it's been tough to kind of get that summer work.
Rolling out, looking to throw, and complete, and up over the 45-yard line to the 47, very close to a first down, as Gavin Marsh connects with a receiver on that play. And let's see where they mark it. They could be moving the sticks, and they do. It's another first down, an Alpine ski and snowboard first down.
That nice clean play by Marsh. You can see they sprint him out to the right. He's a guy that they want to have the threat to run, but does a nice job just getting that nice easy hitch throw out to his receiver. Nothing complicated.
Well, the weather is kind of spitting here a little bit of wind, as it's another first down here for Moses Brown. And the handoff on first down, up over the right side, and a pickup of maybe 6 yards on that play, but gets into Lincoln territory.
That's what Moses Brown wants to do there. Just keep the chains moving, stay in manageable situations. 2nd and 4 is a great opportunity to go downtown because they're ahead in the count.
Rolling out, looking to throw, and incomplete. A nice breakup on that play. Breaking that play up was Jaden Rodriguez, who knocked it away from the receiver.
Yeah, a little bit late on that throw. You can see him rolling to his left. To the left, it takes a little bit longer to get the ball out. Great play by the DB there. And that's, Coach talked about number one. He's going to be their cover guy, the guy that they'll put on an island, aren't afraid to leave Jaden Rodriguez in man-to-man situations, and you can see why right there.
Oh, fumble, and ball still rolling around and finally gathered in by Moses Brown. Luckily recovered by Moses Brown. Number 23 reeled that one in, A.J. Bianco.
That's the problem of playing out of shotgun. I got the pleasure of doing a lot of URI games over the years. They're straight out of gun all the time. But even at the college level, you'll see 1 to 2 mishaps every game, whether it be the center snapping in it while you're not ready, or a low snap, or a quarterback just muffing the snap in that way.
Yeah, well, as we mentioned, it is kind of slick out there tonight. They're going to punt this one away. Parker Kroll gets a foot into it, and that one is rolling at the 42-yard line, and that's where Lincoln will take over, 1st and 10. 31 yards, 31-yard line is where that ball will be placed. Glad to have you with us on the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates.
Salute to service halftime ceremony. We need you to check in at the red tent.
See if this Lincoln offense can get going here. A wing T set. One of the few teams that'll still play their quarterback under center, as we see Scott Nickel give a handoff there.
There it is. It's Rodriguez. Rodriguez eludes one tackle, gets over the 30 to the 35, and then finally pushed out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. He is what Coach Sean Cavanaugh calls their speed guy.
Yeah.
Likes to run the sweep.
Yeah, junior slot, slot player. A lot of speed sweeps there, some screens, but look at the way he finishes this run. He is dishing out some abuse there.
Well, we shouldn't be surprised with the speed. He's a sprinter on the track and field team here at Lincoln.
Absolutely. Coach talked about him, a quiet leader on the team, a reserve guy, a guy that everyone on the team respects and looks to without having to be too rah-rah.
All right, Scott Nickel at the controls for the Lions. Rodriguez in motion, and the handoff up the middle, and that one is going to be enough for a first down as it creeps over the 40 to the 41-yard line. John Nickel carrying that ball, and that will move the sticks for another Alpine ski and snowboard first down.
Yeah, like we said, we'll be calling John Nickel's name all game here. Last game, 16 carries for 107 yards, 16 tackles on defense. Against a good Tolman team. They were just edged out in the last 2 minutes versus Tolman last week. 22-14.
On first down, rolling out, nickel, and completes. That's complete to Rodriguez, who gets over the 50-yard line and into Moses Brown territory.
First down.
Another first down for the Lions, who move up to Division II, first time since the 2018 season. Shared the 3A regular season title last year with Middletown.
Simple little boot action right there. Nice looking play. And the young quarterback does a good job, just does his job, gets it out to his skill player, the guy with all the speed out there, Rodriguez.
As the handoff on first down, and up the middle goes John Nickel. Nickel down inside the 45-yard line.
5 on the play.
Well, we talked about at the beginning of our telecast here tonight about how both teams had to kind of reload after last year. For Lincoln, they lost 9 starters off of offense, 7 starters off of defense.
Yeah. Yeah, talking to both coaches, it just seemed that, a coach has to be optimistic, but there was an air of like, this might take a couple years type of situation, especially with them both moving up to Division II from Division III.
Oh, breaking through here, Kyle Dussault, big gainer down inside the 20-yard line. Let's see where they spot that ball at like the 19-yard line after a 20-yard pickup. Boy, he looked like a sprinter there as we get into the Euclid Financial Services red zone for the first time here tonight.
A little bit of an inside counter there by Lincoln. You can see Scott Nichols taking over, running those fakes in the backfield as John Nichols. We called him the Magic Man last year because you and I couldn't see where the ball was half the time, but they've got some deception going on there. That's the second time Kyle Dussault has made his mark on this team. Coach said he should have carried the ball even more last year, but was stuck behind a strong senior class.
From the 19-yard line, handoff, first down. And that one's going to sneak through down to almost the 10-yard line, maybe? Let's see. That one carried by John Nickel.
John has not been tackled by the first defender yet this game. I think that's what you want to keep an eye on. How many times does he shed that first clean tackle and move on to the secondary in that linebacking crew to pick up 4 or 5 when it probably should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage. And that's why they made the move and put him there. They trust him. He's a hard-nosed guy. He lives and breathes the sport of football.
All right, second down and 4 after the 6-yard pickup. Ball on the 13-yard line. Handoff. And wrapped up and dropped down. John Nickel with the carry once again.
Yep, but keeping him in a good position. It'll be 3rd and 1. Nickel, when he's not playing football, he's a great wrestler on an all-state champion team over there in Lincoln.
It's got to help you break tackles along the way, right?
Absolutely.
All right, we're through one quarter here in Lincoln. No score between the Lions and the Moses Brown Quakers. More Friday Night Rivals coming your way after this.
Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals, local high school football every Friday night. Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the brand you trust since 1928, offering Nairobi's same-day mattress and upholstery eye delivery 7 days a week.
All right, welcome back as we get ready to start the second quarter with the Lincoln Lions threatening to score here as they are now deep in Moses Brown territory. We mentioned about how Lincoln lost a lot of players from last year's team that shared the regular season title in D3A with Middletown. Their motto this year, brick by brick. They have it printed on T-shirts. The slogan created by assistant coach Corey Gaskell. And they didn't want to call it a rebuilding year. They're saying brick by brick.
That is the way to put your positive spin on the fact that you don't have it just yet. got to find some pieces. You got to stay in the weight room.
Well, first quarter stats, 109 yards rushing for the Lions, just 24 for Moses Brown. Total yards, 119 to 36 in favor of the home team here. No turnovers. And another run here on the first play of the second quarter.
Yeah, and I don't mean to make light. You know, it's a tough task to graduate your senior class, all these starters, and then try to keep your eye on a championship and the playoffs. And you got to respect a team that, you know, has that worker-like attitude where, you know, they have a slogan like that and they come in and they keep their eye on today and hope for opportunities down the line. It's no small task moving up to Division II from Division III.
First and goal from the 8-yard line. And then it's Rodriguez trying to find some room, and he is dropped for a loss. So good coverage there by the Moses Brown defense.
That was a great play by Jeffries there on the outside. These cornerbacks are taught to keep contained, force him back to the inside, and you can see he is not going to allow that running back to get to his outside, and that's why he's able to make that play.
Ball on the far hash mark now on second down and goal for the Lions. Sprinting out, looking to throw into the end zone, and incomplete. Falling down in the end zone was Jared O'Hagan. That was intended for him.
Yeah, Eric Jeffries almost makes another great play, goes up for the high interception. They teach these guys to go to the high point of the ball, and he makes a break on this thing, and it's just off his fingertips. That's exactly how they teach him to do it, though. And the biggest thing is you want to disrupt that offense.
You know, maybe an indication of how slick the field is now, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. These gloves are great when they're dry, and they can catch you by surprise when it's wet out there if you're not constantly wiping them off on your pants and on your towel.
Now for the quarterback and the receivers, we saw one of the receivers slip in the end zone. All right, third down and goal for the Lions. Handoff around the corner and pushed out of bounds goes John Nickel. So that'll bring about fourth down. Let's see if I can spot a flag to see which way the wind is blowing. Looks pretty calm at this point.
Yeah, not too much wind. And if it is, it's sort of a swirling wind. Big play here. Chance to get on the board. Doesn't look like they're going to, you know, bring any type of field goal unit on. They're going to try to get in the end zone, and it's a gamble. We'll see if it pays off.
All right, Scott Nickel got the play call from the sideline. Head coach Sean Cavanaugh, been the head coach here since 2015, but 23 years coaching here at Lincoln High School.
Fourth and goal from the 9.
Here we go. Handoff around the left side, looking for room and stopping, moving back. And there's a flag that's thrown as finally Kyle Dussault goes down. That flag came from the backfield, and we'll see what to call it. Could it be holding?
It might be a face mask type penalty if I were to take a guess.
Yeah, it goes against Lincoln, and it is declined, so Moses Brown will take over on downs here.
Interesting call, man. They just give it to Dussault around the left. There's no trickery, nothing. Just trying to trust their blockers, and you know Moses Brown does a great job pursuing there. Turns him back. You got all your linebackers on their pursuit angles that meet him on the cutback.
It's Parker Kroll who finally got his arms around Dussault and brought him down, but had a lot of company of fellow white jerseys.
Fourth and goal from the 9, straight handoff to the left side.
So the ball spotted on the Moses Brown 11-yard line as the Quakers now come out on offense. Got someone split out wide to the left. A couple of receivers wide to the right. Thinking pass here, at least based on the formation.
little bit movement on the defensive side. I don't know if we have a flag. It looks like they are going to stop it.
Now the flag and offside. Offside called on the Lions, so they will march off 5 yards, be first down and 5 now for the Quakers.
Yeah, like you said, Frank, Moses Brown will come out in multiple spread sets. They're going to keep 4 wide receivers in the game, 3 wide receivers in the game, and kind of oscillate back and forth from that. They like that look with 1 running back or 1 running back and a tight end. Coach talked about that on the phone, how that is their plan. They want to spread out this defense, and with that, you can hit them anywhere you want. You can throw screens, you can hit them up the middle, and you can obviously pass out of those sets.
All right, here we go. Spread out formation for Moses Brown on first down, and from the shotgun, looking to pass, and that one deflected and then intercepted by Lincoln. Wow, what a play.
Jacob Harris with the heady play. He may have been the one that tipped it and caught it. We'll have to see the replay, but he tracks that ball, makes a great play, and that'll put Lincoln knocking on the door already in the red zone. We'll see the pass here, just a straight pocket pass. A little bit late, got hit from behind, and there you can see Jacob Harris with the heady play, gets off his block and catches that thing over the shoulder. Good play for a defensive end.
Yeah, not bad for the junior defensive end. All right, so Lincoln with another chance down deep in Moses Brown territory, 1st and 10. Ball on the 12-yard line. Hand off up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown. Kyle Dussault's taking it over the goal line for our first points. And a Prime Heating and Cooling touchdown.
Had it all set up by Jacob Harris. Coach talked about him on the defense and the offensive side. He's a wide receiver / tight end. Can do it all, a versatile guy, and obviously you see his skills there. As we look at Dussault taking this inside reverse, sort of counter trap reverse into the end zone, breaks a couple tackles. He's having a big game.
So Lincoln is going to go for 2 points here. They lead it now 6-0. A few minutes into the second quarter. Looking to pass and incomplete, so it'll remain 6-0. Lincoln, the first to strike here, as they are looking for their first win of the season on week number 2.
It looked like Parker Kroll on Moses Brown's side of the ball did a good job getting his hands up, being disruptive there on a little bit of a boot action with a receiver in the flats.
So Moses Brown will look to regroup here as we check out the Lincoln cheerleaders who are here on the sideline on the Salute to Service nights at Ferguson Field. Good crowd on hand. So Dussault with the 12-yard run at 9:19 of the second quarter to make it 6-0. So give you the Rawlings floor covering scoring summary.
And that's what turnovers do.
Didn't take long.
Yeah, and really, you know, no fault to the quarterback really, besides just holding the ball a little bit too long. As we see the touchdown play here, that sort of deceptive inside counter trap, and Dussault does a good job kind of heading upfield. He can take that thing left or he can take it up the gut, and he decides to take it up the gut.
All right, Lincoln will kick it off. Junior Leetzen Centio is the kicker.
Eric Jeffries back. Dangerous player for Moses Brown. They'll likely kick away from him, as they do right there.
Fielded at the 20 to the 30. Coming up field and then finally brought down at the 33-yard line goes Matthew Ziadi. 13-yard pickup on the return.
Yeah, not a bad little return there. You know, you want to get to the edge. If you can't get to the edge, it's one move and stick your foot in the ground and get upfield. But he almost had the edge there.
And we have an injured player down. We take a short break here. We're back with more of the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates, right after this. Hi, welcome back. Charlie Larkin from Moses Brown helped off the field after that kickoff return. And want to remind you that we have some festivities coming up at halftime. So stay tuned for the halftime report. We'll have this week's Patriot Roofing Scholar athletes, participating high school in administrator interview, principal of Lincoln High School, plus first half and national highlights, plus much more. We also want to make you aware that at the end of the game, we will have the Ocean State Credit Union player of the game. First, the play of the game nominee will come up in the fourth quarter, and the player of the game also coming up later in this game. It's the South Shore Village player of the game. Got it straight. All right, on first down, run just up over the 35-yard line to the 36-yard line. That's Mason Tokars. We'll give him about 3 or 4 yards on that play. Bring about second down.
Big drive here for Moses Brown. Needs to answer the call, down 6-0 early in the season. 1-0 record. Lincoln needs to, on defense here, try to show that they can try to extend a lead up 6-0.
Second down, man in motion from the shotgun. The handoff goes to Matthew Ziade. Ziade up over the 45-yard line, and that is good for a first down.
Nice design, nice execution. Just trying to get Ziade the ball in motion to get a little bit of a jump. You can see that little toss right there from the quarterback. Get a jump on the defensive ends, and he's able to turn the corner and get upfield the way it's taught.
So a 12-yard pickup puts the ball on the 47-yard line of the Quakers, and here they are quick to the line, and another handoff, this time going the other way, and that is Eric Jeffries. Jeffries looking for room, gets into Lincoln territory.
Moses Brown having a lot of success on this sort of jet sweep, a little bit of a toss action from the quarterback, and just giving it to their speed guys, feeding them, and you'll see a change up with toe cars up the gut every once in a while.
All right, pickup of 5 brings about second down for the Quakers as they trail here 6-0 with 7:20 to go in the first half. Handoff and up the middle, and that is going to be close to a first down. See if they give them forward progress.
Well, they gave him a really good spot, so they'll have a chance. I think they're going to be just a half a yard shy. They're going to go no huddle and quarterback sneak this.
And stuffed. Yeah. Stuffed. Great job by the Lincoln defense to hold them.
Very good job. They'll have another chance if they want to go for it here on 4th, as they've already crossed midfield. This is kind of that 4-down territory. And you see, you know, the Lincoln Lions were ready for it. The reason Moses Brown comes up and does it like that is to catch the Lions off guard, but they do not.
4th down and 1. Handoff goes to Ziade. Ziade looking for room, picks up the first down, and then flies out of bounds as he crosses the 40-yard line of the Lions, and they'll move the sticks.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you can overthink it with these quarterback sneaks, especially when you've got plays that are grabbing you 5-6 yards a clip. They haven't stopped this speed sweep yet. It appears that the defensive ends are not able to keep contained thus far this game for Lincoln.
First down, rolling out the pass, and completes to number 33, Parker Kroll. And Kroll picks up another first down as he is dropped at about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, nice bread and butter play there. Just a little sprint out, get it to your hitch on the outside. Kroll does a nice job, a little 5-yard hitch, and it takes about 5, 6, 7 steps on that sprint out and gets it out. Easy throw, the way to get your young quarterback in rhythm.
13-yard pickup brings about another first down for Moses Brown as they're quickly moving down the field. 5:40 to go, first half. And the quarterback trying to keep it himself, and then he is dropped for a loss. Jamison Durango there to drop him.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Marsh didn't give it to Tokars. Possibly some sort of fake screen there, because he looked right at him, had him wide open in the back of the, or just past the line of scrimmage, and decided to keep it himself.
Take another look at this play.
Yeah, I don't know. He needs to throw that out there, unless I'm missing something. Sometimes you'll have a fake screen and a deep ball.
Peter Mendez on the drop there, and here we go with a second down and long. Nice run on that play, down to about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, with that said, you know, Marsh is a run-first guy. He's a dual-threat quarterback. Lorenzo Perry talked a lot about his athleticism and why he likes him. He's still getting a hang of reading the coverage and kind of seeing things in the secondary, but a guy that can definitely run with the ball.
So 3rd down and 6. Looking to throw, and then tucking it in and going to go for a little run goes Gavin Marsh. He gets inside of the 20-yard line. It's going to be 4th down here now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like much, but he's able to take a broken play and make 2 to 3 yards out of it and keep his team in a manageable 4th down situation. You know, I don't think either of these teams inclined to kick field goals. See the replay here. He just finds a little crease, and he's able to make 3 yards out of not much.
Looks like they're going to take a timeout here to talk it over. Head coach Lorenzo Perry for Moses Brown wants to talk with his offense, figure this one out. Ball sitting on the 19-yard line, and 4th down, and I don't know, what do you want to say, 3?
3.5, yeah, 3 or 4 yards.
So you make the call, Coach Rowley.
You know, they could go right to that jet sweep, the little toss they've been running with the motion. I don't think that's been stopped yet today. Or, you know, you could fake that and send your front side wide receiver up the sideline off of that look.
All right,
oftentimes, you know, 4th and short is a chance to go deep, right? Because they're going to play everyone up, put a score on the board.
We do have, you know, a little bit of wind blowing here, a slick field. Looks like, though it was spitting rain earlier, that has subsided, at least for now.
Yeah, it's definitely manageable out there, you know, and oftentimes it can just add some tack to the ball. It can be even better as it dries up. But, yeah, definitely not too bad out there for the passing attack.
All right, the wind at Moses Brown's back here, so let's see what happens on 4th down. Handoff goes to Ziade. Ziade looking, and did he get the necessary yardage?
Well, if you look at the ref, he gave him a good spot. He kind of stepped above the sticks and then ran inward. And, you know, they did go right back to the jet sweep with Ziade. It doesn't look like anyone's going to stop Ziade. He's going to get his 4.
He came up short. They just signal it's Lincoln ball.
A little bit short. We see Ziade. Still a great job. I mean, anytime you're getting 3 or 4 yards of carry, and you see how he finds a crease and he really will go for it. Luckily, the Lions are able to stop him just shy of those sticks.
Peter Mendez on the Lincoln defense breaking through once again, dropped him earlier and doing a nice job there, chasing the quarterback and the ball runner. So 1st down for Lincoln, looking to find some room and not finding a whole lot there. It goes Kyle Dussault.
Heavy dose of Dussault in this game. You know, we expected a little bit more John Nickel. It looks like they're kind of evenly carrying the load. Loss of 1 on the play. One thing I like about what Lincoln does is they're always moving their quarterback. He never stands there and stares at the play. He's always booting, showing that he might have it, keeping people honest out there on the backside. That was one thing his brother John was great at, and looks like Scott picked up right where he left off.
2nd down and 12 now for the Lions. In motion, and again up the middle, no gain there. There's John Nickel. He's got the build of he's a wrestler, we mentioned that, but a build of a fullback.
Yeah, tough guy, you know, kind of a blocky body, tough to take down, tough to get low and match his attack.
17 carries last week for 107 yards.
Yep.
And then on defense had 16 tackles, so very productive week last week for him. Third down and 12. And up over the 20, breaking a couple. Oh, looks like a face mask on it. Don't see any flag. But nice run on that play there by Kyle Dussault.
Man, every time you see Dussault carry the ball, it's like you think he's down 2 to 3 times and just runs hard. 1, 2, almost a face mask. 3, still on his feet. 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's amazing.
A lot of extra efforts there.
You can see, you know, they talk all this about Nichols, but they've got 2 great running backs as far as I can see on that side of the ball.
Well, Lincoln has called a timeout here with 1:56 to go in the first half and trying to figure out what to do here in the final 2 minutes of this quarter.
Well, you know, Moses Brown needs to really dig their heels in, get a stop right here. I feel like Moses Brown has had a fair amount of success on offense, but they sputter when they've needed it the most. A penalty here and there, and just coming up 1 inch shy on that 4th down conversion's got to be a killer. So oftentimes that can lend to some energy on defense. You come out, you're pissed off about it. You get to unload a little bit. A lot of these guys in high school are two-way players, especially on Moses Brown sides with the short roster. So I used to like that part of the game. You sputter, you have to punt on offense, or you throw an interception, you get to come out and hit someone on the other side of the ball.
All right, we mentioned John Nickel. He's got 7 carries tonight for 41 yards so far. Let's see on this 4th down play what they're going to do. It's a long 2 yards. Call it 3. Tight formation, wide out to the right. Scott Nickel under center, and somebody jumped.
Yeah, it looks like Lincoln's trying to use their snap count, which is smart because you can get a free 1st down there with the 4th and 3, but this early in the season, tough to get all 11 guys to stay on sides on your own side of the ball, and it backfires. They'll send the punt team out now.
Mason DiOrio is the punter for the Lions, and he's back inside the 10-yard line, takes the snap and just gets it away. Wow. And that takes a Lincoln bounce, but reeled in immediately by Eric Jeffries. He just threw out an arm and cradled that ball.
I don't know if I like what Jeffries did there or I hate what he did, because he's just a fearless kind of guy. He comes up, you'll see right here at the end of this punt, the bad thing about Lincoln punting here is they have to give it to Jeffries. Jeffries comes up and snags it one-handed off a short hop. Wow. like it was a shortstop. But that's a dangerous play, and I'm sure when they see the film, Coach will talk to him a little bit about what he did there. But unbelievable athleticism. He really snagged it.
I mean, if that took a wrong bounce, that could have been a fumble, and who knows what happens then. All right, the ball on the Lincoln 48-yard line with 1:47 to go, and here comes Moses Brown. Back to pass, looking to throw. Little dump off on the play to Mason Tokars, but it's actually going to be a loss on the play, trying to set up the screen.
Yeah, it looks like Lincoln sniffed that out. What you want to do there is let right side of the line through, but for some reason, 2 or 3 guys waiting there for Tokars.
Marsh rolling out, looking to throw, lets it go, and that one is complete at the 42-yard line to Parker Kroll, and incomplete. Did he drop the ball out of bounds?
Yeah, it looked like a great play on the defense. Jaden Rodriguez knocks it away. Good ball. You get there a little bit quicker, but yeah, maybe Jaden got a hand in there last minute.
So the clock stops with the ball at midfield, 1:12 to go in the first half. 3rd down and 12. Snap, looking to throw, lets it go, and that one is outside of the reach of the receiver on that play. None other than number 3,
Eric Jeffries.
Eric Jeffries. It was a foot race down that far sideline.
Yeah, nice. Steps up in the pocket. Yeah. Good ball. This is kind of, where you want to miss. You want to give your guy a chance over his head and on the outside where the DB can't get it, but just a little bit overthrown. A lot of pressure there in the pocket as he stepped kind of up into the pocket.
All right, so we got 4th down and 12, and now we're going to see Parker Kroll punt this one away for the Quakers. And that ball high in the air, chased down, and it looks like Kyle Dussault will watch as it bounces into the end zone, so they'll bring that out with 56 seconds to go.
Lincoln's offense really not built to go this far in this amount of time, 56 seconds, like you said. It'll be interesting to see what they do if they try to open up a little bit and gauge their ability to kind of get to midfield quickly.
All right. Moses Brown, who won the toss and deferred to start the game, will get the kickoff to start the second half here. But let's see with 56 seconds to go what Lincoln decides to do.
Yeah, it could be a situation where they just kind of
take a knee,
run up the middle a few times, and then take a knee after that. We'll see how much they trust a young quarterback. But now they're backed up even more.
What happened there?
Yes. I did not catch it if there was a penalty or a penalty from a previous play.
All right, the handoff. And around the corner and knocked out of bounds goes Dussault.
Yeah, they're just going to test the waters on the ground, I'm going to say, given that first play. See if they can break one away. If they get closer to midfield, they'll get more aggressive. But the way their offense is built, it's not like they're going to come out and throw intermediate to deep passes, inside the shadow of their own end zone. It's just not their DNA.
All right, here comes Lincoln now on 2nd down and 7. And up over the right sides. And not going anywhere on that play. Good coverage by the Moses Brown defense.
Yeah, John Nichols there. Some good tackling by Moses Brown. Both coaches talked about tackling and the importance of it in this game, and some struggles that both teams had in week 1. And it's just one of those fundamental things that you really can't practice it in the offseason. You have to get almost game experience, especially in today's day and age. They're not doing as many tackling drills as they used to do, and when they are, it's on a bag or a rolling bag or something like this.
All right, timeout here for Lincoln with 14 seconds to go. Probably one more play here before we call it a half.
Yeah, the good thing is if Moses Brown can stop them here and get a timeout, they may be forced to punt, and anything can happen in high school football when you're snapping that ball between your legs and into the, near your own end zone.
So as we mentioned, Lorenzo Perry over there on the Moses Brown sideline in his first year as a high school coach, let alone a head coach on the high school level. He was a Pop Warner coach, Mount Hope Cowboys, but probably best known for his playing career at LaSalle, UMass, and then he really made a name for himself at Bryan University, where he is now a member of their Athletic Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and a guy that's trained numerous guys over the years in Rhode Island at his sports facility, Game Day Fitness, and I can't tell you how many times my quarterbacks will come to me and then go over to him for footwork, foot speed, agility, etc.
Looks like he could still suit up.
Absolutely, he's in shape. And he's put together an incredible coaching staff of guys that have played professionally, and so expect big things from them. They just got to build a little bit.
4th down, and Moses Brown calling a timeout with 5 seconds to go. He said that the fact that he became a head coach on a high school team was never really on his radar, but got a call from the athletic director at Moses Brown to ask him if he was interested, and it was someone that he had played against in high school. He certainly knew of his reputation, both as a player and as a person, and felt that he'd be a good fit at Moses Brown, and it certainly turned out to be that way for them. Great guy, works hard.
Absolutely. An entrepreneur, takes football seriously, has been around the game for a long time, was able to do as a player, train these guys for success, and now he's got this head coaching job, and he's definitely got his hands full because it is tough to build at that program.
Oh, and the punt on 4th down, and that goes out of bounds. And you know what?
That's what I'm saying.
Moses Brown's going to have a play here with 1 second to go.
Yep.
Oh, cook up something good here. Let's see what happens before we head into the half.
Absolutely. Moses Brown can thank the clock officiator there who gave him 1 second. Usually that doesn't happen in an away game. They'll let that thing just tick off. But boom, it almost looked like a block there. But yeah, 1 second.
You think he shanked it?
I don't think anyone got a hand on it. I think he just kind of, there was a lot of pressure in his face. But they'll put it in the end zone here once.
All right, there's Lorenzo talking with his quarterback, Gavin Marsh.
Here's what Marsh should do. He should use his snap count here, see if he can get a free play, and you maybe get 2 shots at the end zone. But he's a young guy just kind of learning this system, and they're definitely going to get 1 chance.
All right, looks like Lincoln is going to call it.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lincoln just wants to, see what set they come out in, see the formation, kind of get an eye on it, go back to their film and try to figure out what play they're trying to run at them.
Take another look at this punt, see if we can see if anyone got a hand on it.
He definitely had pressure in his face and nothing but just pulled it left.
Heard footsteps, saw a big guy coming after him.
Yeah, Parker Kroll right there. So good job by Kroll. Again, he's made a couple big plays in this game. Caught some passes in the flats. Got his hand, tipped a pass on a 2-point conversion. All
right, let's see what Moses Brown cooks up here for what is likely the final play, barring a penalty. Back to pass, looking to throw into the end zone, and that will be intercepted and returned. Still going, and finally brought down is Jaden Rodriguez. So second turnover of the game for Moses Brown. Second interception brings us to halftime of the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates. 6-0 Lincoln. Our halftime show comes up right after this.
All right, welcome back to Lincoln. I got Coach Cavanaugh here. Coach, what's going on in the first half?
Well, Ben, it's a battle out there. I'm proud of our guys. We're getting a real good line play, and we're playing tough on D, so we've got to be happy getting out with no points.
All right, is the weather playing a factor in what you're trying to do out there? It was misting earlier. Seems to have dried up, but it is kind of swirling wind down here.
It is. I think it's just a fun football night. I don't think it's impacting either team. Like I said, it's a grind, and we're happy to be up right now, but it's going to be a tough second half for sure.
What are you going to tell the guys when you go back there and meet with them as they're catching their breath?
Well, I think they got to believe in themselves. Their effort and attitude is there, and they just have to believe because they're playing real well, and they just need to continue because I trust them.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Ben.
Frank, we'll send it up to you, good sir.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Ferguson Field at Lincoln High School. We are at halftime of Lincoln's game against Moses Brown, and time to reveal to you 2 more nominees for our Scholar Athletes. Let's find out who they are. We are proud to present the Patriot Roofing Scholar Athlete of the Week. This week's Scholar Athletes are Xavier Ohl from Moses Brown and John Nickel from Lincoln High School. Xavier is an all-state, all-class, all-division track and field athlete. In fact, he was a captain for the school's indoor and outdoor track teams. He is also a peer tutor with a 3.7 grade point average. John received all-division honors in football from his freshman through junior years. He finished in first place in his weight class in the 2024 Cumberland Wrestling Tournament. He's also a volunteer coach with a 4.09 GPA. These All-Stars are now entered to win a $5,000 college scholarship at the end of the fall sports season. Congratulations to our Patriot Roofing Scholar Athletes of the Week. Welcome back to Lincoln High School. We're at halftime of the Lions game against Moses Brown, the Quakers. Time now to check in with the principal of Lincoln High School, Ken Hopkins Jr., who's standing by with our very own Ben DeCastro.
Thank you so much, Frank. I am here with the principal of Lincoln High School. That would be Ken Hopkins Jr. Sir, it's so great to have you here, and thank you for having us back. And the most impressive thing is the press box is fully functioning. It's standing.
Installed. We even have the other one in backup just in case. Right? Just in case we get a windstorm tonight, we got the other one standing back there.
That was so crazy last year. You know, we had the tornado a week before the game, but your staff, your students, everybody rallied behind. Even the scoreboard, they had to run and get special accommodations because the wiring got ripped out. You have a very resilient school here. Talk to me a little bit about your student body.
Well, that's the whole idea of the community. We preach rise up. We preach respect, integrity, safety, engagement, unity, and pride, and that's our Lincoln Lions motto. And our staff, our students bring that whole community element to everything that we do at Lincoln High School.
And you got that amazing food truck, which I will be visiting in the third and the fourth quarter, just in case. You know, I want to make sure it works out well, but that's a really cool program.
Hey, the award-winning main event food truck, Commissioner's Belt winner at the Menu for Success event that was hosted here at Lincoln High School property last year, and it was Strawberry Shortcake that was the winner. Winner chicken dinner. They got fried chicken sandwiches and cheeseburgers. I'm going to grab some myself right after this.
Well, that's great. Sir, we appreciate you having us. Frank, I'm going to send it back to you to talk about the highlights of the first half.
Welcome back to Lincoln High School. We are at halftime of the Lincoln Moses Brown football game with the Lions of Lincoln leading it by a score of 6-0. And halftime festivities now, the salute to service. As you can see out on the field, all of the fall sports students from Lincoln High School out on the field making a tunnel as some members of the armed services being introduced here tonight and honored at halftime. Really nice ceremony. The town administrator, who was a member of the armed services, was the gentleman who helped flip the coin at the beginning of the game and is the honorary captain, Phil Gould. And the festivities continue here. Really a nice thing that Lincoln High School is doing here at halftime tonight. All right, tell you what, let's take a look at some of our first half highlights. Not much scoring, but some action here. Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. Defensive battle here as DeSalt makes his way, breaking tackles this whole first half. He was the one bright spot for Lincoln.
And then this happened, which ended up producing our first score.
It was a big play. Jacob Harris, the tight end wide receiver, also DN, makes a big play to set up this DeSalt touchdown, which puts Lincoln up 6-0 to begin this game. And a little bit of trouble, Moses Brown trying to get back from this as we see DeSalt. And after that, you know, Lincoln made a concerted effort to give him the ball as much as possible. A lot of times them relying on Nichols. This half DeSalt, and we have a muff kick at the end, which will give Moses Brown a chance to get back in this game. One chance from Marsh, back, but underthrows the pass, and Jaden Rodriguez makes the interception and gets down and gets in 6-0 with the lead for Lincoln.
Well, there you see some of the crowd as our score is 6-0. Lincoln missed the extra point. Actually went for 2 after the touchdown, so that's why we are at 6-0 right now. And we're getting ready to start the third quarter. Is out on the field. All of the students are together with the veterans, and nice little celebration coming to an end as we get ready to start the third quarter of play. All right, we'll have more Friday Night Rivals halftime report brought to you by WJAR and BC10 right after this. And welcome back to Ferguson Field at Lincoln High School, and let's head down to the field now. Ben DeCastro is standing by with the head coach of the Quakers, Lorenzo Perry.
Hey, thank you so much, Frank. Coach Perry, you know, it seems like it's been a dogfight out there almost. I mean, the teams are pretty evenly matched. What did you talk about with your guys going into the halftime?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know, both teams are evenly matched. We just had to settle in a little bit and settle down. The swing tee offense can be a little tricky. So, and it's tough to simulate in practice. So as we started to get a little familiarity with what was going on out there, the defense began to settle down. Offensively, we're doing a great job moving the ball. We just got to finish out some drives. So that was the real message to them guys is let's settle down, and offensively, let's execute and finish a drive. We're down by 1 score. We get the ball coming out, you know, so we feel good.
Is the weather playing a factor? You know, you had a little bit of sprinkle. It's actually starting to, feels like it's going to start misting again. Is that playing a role?
Not really. I mean, there was a couple of erroneous snaps early in the game, but for the most part, the weather's been a non-factor.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half, sir. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Frank, we'll send it back up to you. This is a very exciting game here.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Some first half statistics. Total yardage, Lincoln leading 147 to 107. More passing yards for Moses Brown, 36 to 10. Rushing yardage, that's all Lincoln, 137 to 71. Of course, they lead it by a score of 6-0. And 2 turnovers, the 2 interceptions, one that led to the only score of the game, and the second one, which is the last play of the first half, didn't do any damage. But that's where we stand here with about a minute and a half to go to start the third quarter of tonight's game.
Turnovers will do that. Jacob Harris with the big one down there. He's a versatile guy like we talked about, plays some wide out, plays some tight end, plays some defensive end, and makes that heady play with the tip pass and takes advantage and gives his team a chance from the 10-yard line. And that's why we got the 6-0 on the scoreboard Lincoln's way.
Just a reminder that we've got 8 weeks of high school football coverage, Friday Night Rivals coverage. This is week number 2, and next week, you know where we're going? We're going to Providence.
I don't look ahead that far, no.
You're a day-by-day guy, aren't you?
Yeah. I was lucky to know where this game was being played tonight.
We also want to invite you to stay tuned to the Ocean State Credit Union play of the game. Next week, we are headed to Providence, as I mentioned, Mount Pleasant Stadium. That's right by LaSalle, down the street from LaSalle. You remember how to get there, right?
I know how to get there, yeah.
So they're playing East Providence, the Townies.
A storied program.
It is next week for these guys. Let's see, Lincoln is going to be playing on Thursday, the 3rd of October. So it looks like they have a week off. They'll be playing at Max Reed Field against Shea High School. As for Moses Brown, they'll be playing next Saturday at noontime, and they'll be hosting Coventry High School. So that's what lies ahead. Lincoln looking for their first win of the season. Moses Brown coming off of a season opening win, 22-14 over Tolman. The other Pawtucket High School got the best of Lincoln last week, 14-8. So we're getting ready. Will be Lincoln kicking it off here to start the third quarter. Moses Brown had won the toss at the beginning of the game and decided to defer until the third quarter and see if they can get something going here as they trail by a score of 6-0. So the kicker, Leetson Centillo, lets it go down at the 20-yard line, fielded, and looking for some room is Matthew Ziadi, and he is pushed out of bounds just over the 30-yard line. So that's where the Quakers will take over, 1st and 10.
Yeah, it's always good when you get the ball coming out at halftime after you've gone into the locker room down, trailing. So only 6-0, no big deal. Coach Lorenzo Perry doesn't seem too bothered by it, but he knows his team has to finish these drives, as we've said in the first half on this broadcast. Just kind of shooting themselves in the foot, a short 4th down that they couldn't convert, and we'll see what they do here.
1st and 10 from the 33, man in motion. There's the snap, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper who's dragged down at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Coach talked a lot about Gavin Marsh and his feet and his athleticism and kind of using him in this run game. He's got the ability on most of these run plays to pull it and take it himself. He'll often be reading the backside end, and he chooses to take it there on the first play from scrimmage.
8-yard pickup, 2nd down and 2, the handoff, and right up the middle for a 1st down and more, scampering over midfield and into Lincoln territory. Pick up of 14 yards and a 1st down for the Quakers.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen Tokars up the gut, number 15, and almost untouched, just going straight ahead, and finally drags a few players down for 3 or 4 more yards. And really Lincoln needs to tighten up if they're to keep the lead in this game.
1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Here come the Quakers now. The first series of the third quarter, looking for some room and then maybe getting back to the line of scrimmage. Perhaps a loss of a yard on the play as the Lincoln defense collapses on the ball carrier. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that speed sweep to Eric Jeffries, dynamic speed type guy. I'd like to see them try to get it to him on some screens. That's the only play we've really seen where they're consistently getting him the ball is that jet sweep.
Second down, back to pass, letting it fly and completes at the 43-yard line for being pushed out of bounds. Matthew Ziadi reeling that one in.
Haven't seen that yet. That's their quick game. One-step drop out of gun, sticks his foot in the ground and throws a 5-yard out to his slot. Ziadi does a good job there, reeling in a tough catch. Pass a little bit high and outside, but that's where you want to miss.
3rd down and 5 for the Quakers. Gavin Marsh, quarterback for this team, just a sophomore, transferred in from Narragansett, first year at Moses Brown, brings the play in from the sideline. Handoff up the middle, and it is Mason Tokars who is going to move the sticks. 1st down for the Quakers.
Yeah, like Coach said after half, they've done a good job moving the ball. So, this is where they've sputtered, knocking at the door of the red zone, need to come up with some plays. And once you get down here inside the 40, there are some shot plays you can take, roll out, boots, run some corner routes, give your receivers a chance to make plays in the air. Now, the weather a little bit, he says it's not a factor, but I think it's a play calling factor for them.
Ball on the 36-yard line. And there's flag. Saw some movement along the line. And this will go against Moses Brown.
And there you go. Just right on cue. Going to back themselves up and cause a 1st and 15. And that's not a good place to start. Gavin Marsh showing, that he keeps his cool out there. He moseys on out to the huddle. Doesn't look like he's in too much of a rush. Knows what type of game this is. It's a sort of a defensive battle. They just need to kind of keep their cool and make the plays that they're supposed to make.
1st and 15, the snap, looking to pass, lets it go, and that one is complete. Ziadi breaks away one tackle and picks up a few more yards as he gets inside of the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they go right back to their quick game there. They've got a go route on the outside. Ziadi from the slot running a 5-yard out. And this is an easy read for the quarterback. Make sure the cornerback goes with the go route, get it to Ziadi, and try to get it to him early so he can do that, make a couple guys miss and get upfield. But, they're starting at 1st and 15, so you've still got 2nd and 8 here, which is, I would say it's on par.
A 7-yard pickup on that pass play. Ball on the 34-yard line. Snap, the handoff. And what a reception for.
Well, those plays don't work when, Lincoln's able to get that deep in the backfield. Marsh does the right thing and pulls that out of his running back's gut and tries to keep it himself. But when you're that deep in the backfield, you can kind of get both ball carriers. You see right here the penetration by 2-3 guys. They're all 4 or 5 yards back there, and you really can't operate an offense that way.
It looks like Kavan. It's not Kavan. Third and 11.
All right, 3rd down play now for Moses Brown. Quarterback wants to throw, but he is dragged down on the play by Devontae Paris. The senior linebacker gets to the quarterback and drops him for a big loss, bringing about 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like Moses Brown tried to sprint Gavin Marsh out to his right. Harris does a great job of not allowing him to get contained, a little pursuit angle there. And, you know, they had a corner route and a hitch, I believe, down the bottom of your screen. He's just not able to have enough time to make a play.
All right, so they'll punt this one away. Parker Kroll back at his own 43-yard line. Oh, and just gets that one away. Ball rolling. And finally downed at about the 13-yard line.
Yeah, low tumbling punt there. Looked like a problem, but ends up being not so bad. Pins them inside their own 15-yard line with a couple fortuitous hops of the ball. And you know what Lincoln needs to do here? They need to recognize that, you know, they're not ahead enough. Moses Brown showed some life on offense, able to move the ball. The only reason they get that stop there, or the main reason, is because they penalize themselves on first down. And now Lincoln with the chance here to open up their lead, you know, in the third quarter here and show that they know how to put games away.
Ball spotted between the 10 and 11-yard line. We'll see what the Lions come up here. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Hand off up the middle. John Nickel carrying the ball. And he picks up about 5 yards on the play and bring about second down.
You know, look for Lincoln to go back and forth like they've been doing, Nichols, DeSalt, and let those guys share the bruisings, if you will. And what they need to do is just put together a long, sustained drive, ended up with a field goal or a touchdown, and that'll go a long ways to come out with a W here tonight. Easier said than done inside their own 20.
Scott Nickel brings the team to the line of scrimmage. Looking, handoff around the right side. Dropped by Jaden Rodriguez with the carry.
Could see Scott Nichols booting away, always active, like we said in the first quarter. Coach Lorenzo Perry alluded to it. It's a tough offense to get a grip on. There's so much misdirection happening. You've got the quarterback under center. He's a small guy. It's hard to see the ball anyway, and he's constantly faking, moving, booting, and they just chip away at a defense. But you have to be able to convert right here on these types of situations, these 3rd and 3s.
All right, third down play. Another handoff up the middle, and that's first down yardage as the ball goes up over the 26-yard line, and that'll be enough to move the stakes, as it's primarily a running game here for Lincoln.
Absolutely. They're unapologetic about it, and this one is just straight up the gut to his brother John, and that's a nice little vision there. Cuts back right just enough to avoid a couple tackles and fall forward. The way you want to run on third down is like that, with a full head of steam, or even if you get hit at 2 yards, you barrel forward for that first down.
8 yards on the pickup brings about a first down. They've only thrown the ball 3 times tonight, Lincoln has.
And yeah, we kind of knew that coming in. They have a style of offense that they're going to play, and they're going to try to be the better than your defense at that style.
Got all sorts of flags flying here as the ball was snapped, and I believe that's going to be a call against Lincoln. Legal procedure, bring it back 5 yards. So first down and 15.
Yeah. And that's the tough thing about an offense where you need so many plays to get down the field. There's no big hits, two passes, and you're in the red zone. It's sustained drives. And with that, you can't be offsides. You can't hold. You got to do everything right, or because every single penalty is a drive killer. So, first and 15 here, we'll see if they can get creative and find a way to get into some manageable second and third downs.
There's a snap, second man through, gets the ball, and he is greeted right when he was handed the ball and dropped for a loss. So going in the wrong direction, the Lincoln Lions are here. Ball now inside the 20-yard line.
That is Aiden Rodriguez, their second-year starter on offense. And, yeah, this is their changeup. A little bit of an inside handoff there, and oftentimes you'll have a gap and you'll be able to get to the outside. But Moses Brown's stingy there.
Eric Friedman dropped him, the senior defensive lineman.
Yep, big kid, tough kid. You can see by the jersey he's not afraid to mix it up. His jersey's different color than everyone else's. Maybe that's just the shadow.
Working in the trenches. 3.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Still 6-0. Lincoln leading Moses Brown here. Second and long. Oh, boy. And from the blind side and losing the ball is the quarterback, and falling on it is Moses Brown. Looked like, was it number 21, Nathaniel King, who picked up the ball. And this is a big break for Moses Brown.
Huge break. Tokars gets in there, number 15. You see him. Nobody touched him, and he's able to strip that ball and kind of pull it Scott's arms, and nice scoop there. And
never saw him coming.
Yeah, exactly. And no one should be in there. That shouldn't happen. So obviously some sort of mishap up front. He kind of came from the backside there, and 21 scoops that up. Nathaniel King.
Well, great opportunity now for the Quakers. Put some points on the board. The ball spotted on just the 5-yard line.
Yeah, this is, you know, if you got down on your knees and prayed for some sort of scenario where you could get back in this game or even pull ahead, it'd be this. And sometimes you got to make plays as a defense to get your team back in the game, and that's what happened here. Now they just have to execute, you know, run your plays, and this should go well.
First down, quarterback rolls out, pass complete, and drops right near the goal line.
Yeah, Parker Kroll does a great job just to hold on to the ball there.
Whew.
As we see Marsh, a little play action. Great job just to get it to him there, and a little bit of danger. And we missed this one, but Moses Brown signaling that they're over the goal line. We'll see what the refs say about it. They've got him spotted, I think, just shy. That'll bring up a 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Look for the quarterback sneak here. I'm more apt to call one of these jet sweeps that hasn't been stopped all day. It didn't work on 4th down.
Going up the middle again, and they're going to push this over the goal line. They do. So Moses Brown capitalizing on the turnover by Lincoln, scoring here.
Yeah, Gavin Marsh does a great job. He's held up to begin with. Nice plug by the Lincoln defensive front 4, but he's able to stick that ball out. Kind of risks the ball on 3rd down there, but you know, those are the downs you want to do at 3rd and 4th down and goal.
All right, so the Parker Kroll lines up the extra point, and that one is blocked. So we are tied at 6. Wow.
What a big play there. Get to see it here on replay, see if we can see who gets a hand on it. Oh, that's just that's the quarterback sneak there with Marsh sticking the ball over. Nice little secondary surge by his offensive line. Initially they're held up, but everyone kind of gets in there and pushing from behind. They're able to just get over the line. But the extra point blocked, and that'll leave us here at 6-6, locked up. 3rd quarter, huge play to get a hand on it. I didn't catch a number. We're going to get a chance to see the replay here. Parker Kroll, low kick.
Someone who came in from the left side.
Yep. Great play nonetheless. There were 2 or 3 guys back there in the backfield. Great effort by Lincoln, kind of sensing the moment there that, you know, they're about to go down. If they can just get a fingernail on that ball, which they do, able to kind of leave the ball game locked up at 6. You know, that changes everything. You know, Lincoln, sort of in the same way that Moses Brown scored there off a turnover, is the same way they got their 6 points early in this game. So no offense really has sustained a drive that's ended up in the end zone. Right. Both defenses kind of putting their teams in position to manufacture a couple scores.
Well, just proof, and you hear it all the time about how you have to take care of the football. You hear it at every level of football, whether it be Pop Warner or high school, college, or the pros. Take care of the football. That can be the difference in the game, and that is the difference in this game here tonight. Turnovers resulting in both scores. Quick kick reeled in by Jaden Rodriguez. Up over the 10, the 15, and pushed out of bounds. So a 15-yard return on that play. See what Lincoln could get going here with 2:17 to go in the third quarter, and we're all tied at 6. Now, Lincoln, we talked about Moses Brown having one of the smallest rosters. Lincoln has a pretty healthy roster. In fact, they had 65 kids who attended tryouts, largest turnout in recent memory. And, you know, word gets around. If the kids are having fun, if they're having success, which this team did last year, and other students want to be a part of it. All right, 1st and 10. Ball on the 16-yard line. Scott Nickel looking, and Rodriguez gets dropped for a loss. Wow. Just seems like there's a little extra, skip in the step of the Moses Brown defense now that they've tied this game up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like on almost all drives, Moses Brown's defense comes out strong to start those drives. It's just a matter of staying with it. And what they want to look for is just another turnover here to see if they can jumpstart their offense once again. It's a defensive battle here tonight.
All right, so we're going to take a break with a player down on the field. The Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates returns right after this.
Ocean State Credit Union's Friday Night Rivals, local high school football every Friday night. Closed captioning sponsored by Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses, the brand you trust since 1928, offering Nairobi's same-day mattress and upholstery delivery 7 days a week.
Welcome back. Jaden Rodriguez, who was dropped for a big loss on that play and was down, has gotten up and headed for the sideline now as we have a 2nd down and 15 for the Lions. Scott Nickel. A lot going on in that backfield, but none of it going forward.
Yeah, problems in the backfield. As we talked about, there's a lot of crisscrossing in the wing T and with all these counters and traps and misdirections. And it looked like they just kind of got their hairs crossed and some running into each other. Bad time for it to happen on 2nd and long, and now they've got 3rd and 20, long way to go. We'll see what kind of safe play, maybe an inside screen or outside screen. Try to give themselves a little bit of room to punt it out of there.
I was going to say, keep them honest here. Let's try and maybe throw the ball. I mean, Moses Brown has seen all of these run plays so far, or so it seems, and have been able to contain them here in the third quarter.
A little inside handoff. They kind of a draw type look, I believe. And John Nickel up the gut. You can see his brother kind of has a little bit of what he has, that deceptiveness with the ball. It's a little bit of a sleight of hand where he pretends he's dropping back but just kind of sneaks it around the back of his brother. So that's just chemistry there. Now, they practice that, and that's part of what they do. It's a little bit of like I said, sleight of hand. Yeah, deception, sleight of hand, misdirection, if you will.
All right, Mason DiOrio is back. And he's right on his goal line, and he will let this one fly end over end, and that one reeled in at the Lincoln 35-yard line by Eric Jeffries.
I told you, Eric Jeffries has no fear. He would just go get that ball, doesn't want to let it roll, which you got to respect. You wonder what they're going to tell him in the coach's office. He didn't have to pay for it yet here tonight, but in this type of game, you want to play it a little bit safer than that. But he comes up with it, and his team's going to reap the reward because they've got the ball on the 35-yard line going in after that punt.
So what would you have done? Were you backed away? I mean, and let that ball bounce?
You could see if it takes a nice clean bounce and grab it, but to go up and dive for it is just a little bit risky.
First down for Moses Brown, the quarterback, going to keep it. And it's Gavin Marsh with the run. And that is the end of the third quarter. So with just 12 minutes left to play here, it is 6-6. Moses Brown and Lincoln. We're back with more Friday Night Rivals after this. Welcome back to Ferguson Field and Lincoln High School. 6-6 game with 1 quarter to play. And Ben DeCastro, speaking of playing, is with the band that's playing down in the end zone. Ben, take a look at him. Got the cymbals going there. Member of the band. Certainly the band adding a lot to our telecast of this game and the atmosphere at the game. I'm trying to figure out what Ben adds to that, but cymbals are pretty easy.
As a instrument,
yeah. You a cymbal? You could be a cymbal guy. I'd be a cymbal guy.
I could play him better than that.
Yeah. All right, here on second down, nice running play by Moses Brown. It's going to be a first down.
Mason Tokars up the gut. Big opportunity here. They're knocking at the door. Moses Brown offense, like we said, just sputters at the wrong time so far this evening, able to score off a defensive play, and they find themselves at the 20-yard line.
Inside the red zone, handoff goes to Tokars again, and he battles his way down to the 10-yard line. That'll be good enough for another first down.
Running hard here, get his head down, able to finish runs tonight, making some big plays on defense, showing his heart, putting his team in a great position to try to earn a gritty win.
9-yard pickup on the play. Quakers threatening here to score and take the lead in the game for the first time.
This is a good opportunity for play action on 2nd and 1. They've got one down to give here. They could fake to Tokars.
Handoff up the middle, still battling for more yardage, and then dropped once he got inside the 10-yard line, and that should be good enough for a first down as Tokars does it again.
Yep, don't overthink it. Get the first down. Get that first, and then just keep pounding it with him. He's running the ball well. He's hot right now. He's feeling himself. He made a defensive play to help his team tie this game up. Should be ahead, but Lincoln obviously getting a hand on that extra point.
So the ball resting on the 8-yard line brings about 1st and goal for the Quakers. Final quarter of the game, we're all tied at 6.
Tight formation.
rolling out, tucking it in. The quarterback wants it himself, and he is down the far side of the field, and he is going to be dropped short of the score, but nice run on that play by Gavin Marsh.
Yeah, I thought he had it there from one view. Gavin Marsh, a run-first guy. And this is great. They get him to the edge. He doesn't think he has 11 in the flat, so he just takes it up himself. Got to tuck that ball away a little bit, but had a chance to the outside, chooses to try to go straight ahead, and some good tackling by Lincoln.
All right, and looks like into the end zone, touchdown. Tokars takes it in for the score, putting the Quakers up. Moses Brown leads it now for the first time tonight by a score of 12-6.
Number 15, Mason Tokars, really has his stamp on this game in a number of different ways, and there he's able to go around the right side, put his team up 12-6. See if they can get the extra point here. Obviously, a lot of extra point problems on both sides in this game.
Parker Kroll getting ready to kick this one away, and that is up and that is through. So tack on another points, 13-6. Moses Brown leading Lincoln here with 9:27 to go in the game. Take another look here at the score. The handoff going to Mason Tokars and into the end zone for the touchdown. We have more Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates, coming up right after this. And welcome back to Lincoln High School. We want to thank the folks at Medici Italian Kitchen for the pregame meal for our crew. Delicious as always and never lasts that long. I don't know if I don't even get in on that. You get in on that?
I've not been offered.
No. you got to act quick with these guys. You got to act real quick. Yeah.
You got to get here earlier.
All right, we're going to see Moses Brown kicked this one off. They lead it now 13-6.
Yeah, 9:27 in the fourth. They're up 7, which is, obviously just one score, but seems like a lot in this game that's been a defensive battle. So we'll see if Lincoln can put something together.
This ball reeled in, up over the 25-yard line goes Jaden Rodriguez, and that's where Lincoln will take over here. 1st and 10. They look now to get back in this game after leading early 6-0. They now trail 13-6.
Yep, not much doing on that kickoff return. That's the type of spot you can look for something to spark you. Obviously, the defensive has sparked both offenses here tonight, but special teams is another place where you can look to get some room for your offense. But Jaden Rodriguez really swarmed there by the Moses Brown kickoff team.
1st and 10. There's loose ball, and what do we have? Another turnover. Wow.
Looks like Tokars as well. So
yeah, he's doing it all tonight.
Just doing everything. Stripping the quarterback, running the ball all over the field, scoring touchdowns, picking up fumbles. We'll see right here, 15. He's kind of walked up in the middle linebacker in the middle of your screen, and the ball's on the ground. Just did. Great job getting down and getting on it, not trying to do too much. A lot of times people will try to scoop that and score, but he's a heady guy, gets down, gets his offense the ball.
All right, turnovers the story here tonight, and now it's Moses Brown again on offense from Lincoln's 25-yard line, looking to throw and completes. Nope, dropped, incomplete.
Yeah, Eric Jeffries there in the flat. I'm not sure what Marsh is waiting for. You just want to drop that off to your running back. I know he's a guy that is a threat himself to run, but give him the ball a little bit earlier. Obviously, Jeffries has to make that catch, but he'd have a lot more room if you just drop that off after 3 or 4 steps out of pocket.
Second down and 10 from the Lincoln 25-yard line. Snap. And that ball down inside of the 25 to the 23-yard line.
Tokarz with the carry there. Gain of a couple. Another hard run. Puts his head down to finish that. And they're going to have to dial something up here. I don't think straightaway is going to get you the 7 you need. Or 7 or 8 yards. 3rd and 8.
Want to keep the clock running at this point.
Got 8:41 on the clock right now. They come out in a 4 wide receiver set. 1 running back. Tokarz in the backfield with Marsh.
Snap rolling out, looking to throw, lets it go long and out of the reach of the intended receiver on that play.
Yeah, Matthew Ziadi looked like a corner route. That's the 2nd time Marsh has just barely overthrown a receiver. Just straight sprint out. It's got a hitch and a corner route over the top of it. He makes the right read. He's got Ziadi, but just over the outstretched arms.
So now 4th down for Moses Brown.
You know, it looks like Lincoln just kind of playing man-to-man on the outside. They could go right back to that. Ask their quarterback to dial it in a little bit more, and they could have a chance. I think, you know, unless Lincoln, they've got, looks like 4 DBs in the game. They're still tight. Moses Brown in a bunch set.
We've got a penalty flag and maybe going against Moses Brown. Yep, legal procedure. Drop it back 5 more yards.
Yeah, and Moses Brown hasn't done themselves many favors when it comes to just kind of operating this offense. Got to remember that, you know, it's Marsh's first year with the team, and these penalties aren't all on him. These procedural things need to be ironed out. It's worth reminding ourselves it's only the 2nd game of the season. Oftentimes this takes a little bit. New head coach coming in, not a lot of time in the summer. He talked about it's tough to get these guys together. A lot of guys are away on vacation, off doing different things, different sports, and so it's been a short preseason for Moses Brown.
All right, here we go, 4th down and 13. Back to pass, eluding the rush, and then finally dropped down, and a loose ball, and that is going to be recovered, but looks like they're going to call him down. So either way, it's going to be Lincoln taking over on downs here.
I don't know what that was. It looked like almost a screen the way the blocking broke down on that play. Marsh almost able to escape it. It looks like everyone in their mom is in the backfield, almost able to get through. And yeah, I think maybe they're saying his knee was down before that ball spurted out.
All right, let's see if Lincoln can get things going. First and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Handoff, looking to find room, spinning, and really going nowhere. Maybe a pickup of just 1 yard on the play as John Nickel taking the ball once again.
Yeah, I think that's why, you know, that Lincoln's been going to the outside a little bit more than they'd like. The Moses Brown interior's been stingy at times, kind of able to get in the backfield and disrupt some things. You can see how much Moses Brown crowding the box. They've got about 8 or 9 guys right inside the tackle.
There's a pass, and that one completes to Jared O'Hagan. Well, we talked about how that's the 4th pass of the game for Lincoln.
Yeah.
Comes at a fortuitous time as they need to score some points here. 7:36 to go in the game. Picks up 18 now for the Lions. And it looks like we have a player down on the field around the Moses Brown 41-yard line. Take another look at the field here.
Can't get a number right now. Nice little pop pass by Lincoln just at the right time. Moses Brown doesn't do a lot of blitzing, but they're getting bolder and bolder as the game goes on because Lincoln's not forcing them to defend the pass and come out with a surprise little pop pass to their tight end, Jared O'Hagan, another wide receiver slash tight end, versatile guy, and he also plays DN for the Lions.
That's the person who is down on the field now, Jared O'Hagan. We're going to take a little break here. Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George, DMD and Associates, returns right after this. Welcome back to Ferguson Field, 7:29 to go. And on first down, there's nice running play off the left side, and it's going to be close to another first down. That was Kyle Dussault with the run.
Coach talked about Dussault as we see him here, leaning forward, fighting off would-be tacklers, and definitely finishing these runs strong. Yeah, Coach talked about he's a tackler, he's a blocker, he's a hard runner. 48 yards last week on 6 carries, 2 big runs, and making his mark here again today.
Second down and 1, and a first down now and some more for Lincoln as John Nickel fights his way down to the 30-yard line.
On the run. About 5 on the play.
So John Nickel, who we mentioned last week, 17 carries for 107 yards, sharing the load here this week.
Absolutely. 1-2 punch there. And, you know, Scott Nichols can do a little bit of running himself, although he's not quite the runner of his brother. He's a little bit more of a patient guy, lets the game come to him. But with those 3 guys, they've got enough to keep defenses off balance and put up a little bit of points, although they do have to do it the slow and steady way.
On first down, handoff goes to Nickel. Nickel down to the 25-yard line. So John Nickel picking up about 5 yards on that play. We'll bring about second down. 13-6, Moses Brown leading it here with 5:45 to go in the game. Don't forget, coming up after the game, we have the trophy presentation to the winner of tonight's game. Nice Friday Night Rivals trophy that Ben DeCastro will be presenting to the winning coach and players. And all the highlights of tonight's game you can find at 11 o'clock over on NBC 10. So here we go on second down. Around the right corner, looking for room down inside the 20 and stepping out of bounds. On the play is Jaden Rodriguez. So let's see where they spot this ball, and if we're moving the sticks again, yes, signal that it's a first down. So here we go, Lincoln trying to come up with a touchdown here and potentially trying to tie the game. They have 6 points because after their touchdown earlier in the game, they went for 2 and failed. So therefore, just 6 points on the board for them here. First down. And right up the middle, 10-5 touchdown. How about that? That is number 11, Kyle Dussault with the score, and that brings Lincoln to within a point.
Dussault, more big plays, weaving his way through traffic. He just hits the hole so hard, gets downhill quickly, and there he kind of weaves back to the backside. A little bit of reverse handoff inside, and you can see how he gets upfield because that's a lateral play that he gets vertical, and you know all those shoulder pads are constantly in front of his legs, so any would-be tacklers are going to go for a ride.
Oh, here we go. They're going to go for 2 here. 5:10 to go. Nickel has it, fighting and trying to reach out, and it doesn't look like he got into the end zone for 2 points. So it remains a Moses Brown 13-12 leads as Lincoln stops short on a 2-point conversion.
That is a gutsy call and a big play by Moses Brown because, let's see it here, just gives the ball to his brother. His brother does a great job just fighting and trying to find a way to get into that end zone, but finds himself corralled by 3, 4, 5 Moses Brown tacklers late in that run. And, you know, what I was just say is, you know, gutsy call, obviously, do not come away with it, but such a big play by Moses Brown because, you know, Lincoln's offense is not built to score in 2-3 minutes, which is likely how much time they'll have when they get the ball back if they do a good job on defense here.
All right, so we have a player down along the goal line being looked after. Lincoln player.
Yeah.
Take one more look at this 17-yard touchdown run by Kyle Dussault. Put 6 points on the board.
Yeah, inside counter, slices up. He has the option of going outside or taking it up the gut. He takes it up the gut and then makes one more cut back to his right, and almost nobody touches him there. He's fast, but he also runs strong. Coach talked about just what a hard-nosed guy he is. We did not know he'd be touching the ball as much as he is today. We thought we'd see a much heavier dose of John Nichols, but they look like they put together maybe they didn't trust us with the information, Frank, is what I'm thinking.
All right, that player who was down was number 58, I believe, Joe London. 59. All right, so number 59 would be Josiah Onjekwe. And he had a cramp as he kind of limped off and is now trying to stretch that out. You know, we've run into that problem quite a bit in past years, especially when it's been warmer than it is here tonight. But it does happen as now we get later and later into the game. All right, Lincoln kicking it off. And the ball fielded at the 20, but unlike, you know, the NFL where, you know, if you're not touched, even if you go down on one knee, you can still run the ball, but not so in high school football.
Yeah, I'm just laughing. It looks like he had no idea that was only an NFL rule as he got up shrugging, wondering what's going on. Eric Jeffries there. Yeah, you're not in the NFL yet, my brother, but maybe one day.
All right, let's see what the Lincoln defense can do here to hold off Moses Brown with 5:09 to go and see if they can get into the end zone again, the Lions, to put themselves ahead. Or maybe Moses Brown gets into the end zone and puts themselves that much farther away from the Lions here as they're trying to close in on their second win of the season. On first down, a handoff up over the 30, 35, looking for more room. Nice run there by Mason Tokars.
Yeah, if Moses Brown can, you know, put together a sustained drive. We see 5 minutes on the clock. Here we see the Tokars getting to the outside. It's a nice heady run, kind of sticks his right foot in the ground and finds his way to the sideline, and then obviously staying in bounds will be important for Moses Brown on this drive. They want to use up every bit of clock they can. Hopefully they can end up in the end zone, but that hasn't been the pattern thus far this game. But just clock management right now, converting some third downs, getting down at the red zone, taking as much time as they can because Lincoln's offense needs that time.
Moses Brown on their own 43-yard line and going nowhere on first down. So Lincoln Lions getting tough on defense, trying to hold these guys, be second down.
Yeah. Well, they need to. They need to have a sense of this moment, understand who they are as a team, who their offense is as a team, and that defense needs to create a stand right here, get a little 3 and out, or 3 and out from here, I should say. .355, 54.
Want to keep it on the ground, keep that clock rolling here. And if the ball does go back to Lincoln, that much less time for them to try and work some magic and get ahead in this game. All right, there's the handoff on second down.
No, we can't see the play clock, but it looks like Gavin Marsh has a good idea of using every second of each play clock right now. He's making his way all the way over to the sideline between each play.
All right, so they're huddling up here for timeout with 3:35 to go.
Yeah, so you got to wonder here, you know, if Lincoln is able to get the ball back. We haven't seen either team in the red zone even hint at trying for a field goal, but that would be obviously be what they need to go ahead in this game. We're looking at a long third and 7. Moses Brown going to talk it over.
Well, it's come to that time of the game where we've got to pick our play of the game and players of the game, and that's coming up in shortly here as the teams come back out to the field. Well, Moses Brown spreading them out here on 3rd down. 3rd down and 7. Man in motion. The handoff goes to Eric Jeffries. Jeffries trying to find room. Still going, but knocked out of bounds and a big loss on the play. So 4th down coming up here.
Great job by Lincoln. Moses Brown going to try to go to their speed guy, their most dangerous player out there, Jeffries, but he just can't get to the edge. Great pursuit angles by the Lincoln linebacking crew, and they swarm tackles as Jeffries is not an easy guy to take down. He's the type of guy that can put his foot in the ground, reverse field, and find himself on a kickoff type return. But 4th and long, and still no punt team out there. I wonder if they're trying to. Oh, there he is. I didn't see the punter behind. Moses Brown will have their punt team and try to punt it away as deep as they can. 2:45 left in the game.
There's a snap, and boy, they went for the block almost. That ball takes a nice bounce for Lincoln, but reeled in by Moses Brown. So 32-yard line is where Lincoln will start here with 2:34 to go. And we have tonight's Ocean State Credit Union play of the game. And Kyle, see it coming up on the, here we go, strip sack.
Let's take a look. I'm guessing Mason Tozark with the strip sack on Scott Nichols. And that would lead to Moses Brown's first score of the game. Got them back in this game. And you can see there another angle. And you know, that's how it's taught. When you get to the quarterback, wrap him up, and then try to pull that ball out late.
So they run on 1st down, Lincoln does. Kyle Dussault right up the middle, picking up about, let's see, 5, 6, 7, let's call it 8 yards.
Yep,
all right,
second
Pete?
is short here. 2:14. They need every second of this in order to put together a scoring drive.
Back to pass now. Oof, and then dropped. Wow. Moses Brown getting in on defense.
Yeah. It's not something they're used to doing, getting in those pass block, pocket type pass sets. And you can see right here, you know, if he didn't get to him, you know, 13 had a chance as well. And that's going to put him in a tough spot. They had a nice second and short, but now it'll be 3rd and about 8. And, you know, you're looking at a team with a young quarterback, a team that, you know, runs that wing T-style offense. Not a ton of passing in their playbook, but with 157, you got to think that they're going to need to dial up a few chunk plays here in the passing game to have a chance.
A good crowd on hand here tonight for the Salute to Service festivities and for what has been a good football game. Not a lot of scoring, but certainly a lot of action between Moses Brown and Lincoln.
This is like the biggest 1-point lead I've ever seen in my life. You know, it feels like it's a 2-possession, 14-point game, but Lincoln just needs a point, a field goal, somehow get down in that red zone and kick one through the uprights. And here,
nice, Rodriguez trying to get out of bounds here as he picks up the 1st down and stopping the clock at 1:47 to go. Let's see if he did get out of bounds. They to stop the clock, I believe, to move the chains. 17-yard pickup.
The dangerous Jaden Rodriguez. Those are the type of 15, 20-yard plays you're going to be looking for on this type of drive. Kicks it to the edge, finishes the run strong, and Need some more of that.
The clock rolls, and looks like
every time
flag goes, and both teams are pointing at each other, and we'll see how they call this. At least to my eye, it looked like Moses Brown was offside. And nope, it's going to go against Lincoln.
Yeah, well, the defense is allowed to move. They just can't get into that neutral zone. Petterath, pointing at the defensive end, but the ref ends up calling it on Lincoln. And again, we've seen a fair share of offenses shooting themselves in the foot. 1st and 15 here with 1:29 and ticking.
Back to pass, look out. Here comes the rush, and that ball completes at the Moses Brown 41-yard line. That stops the clock with 1:18 to go.
Number 8 there, Jared O'Hagan, the tight end. I think he was down a little bit earlier on another big play he made, but he's back out there in the game. Sort of a dual threat tight end, wide receiver. He runs the hitch. Rodriguez runs the wheel going by him. A little bit of a deception, and I thought the ball was going to be picked if he was throwing the wheel, but he throws it to O'Hagan for a big gain.
2nd down and 2. Little quarterback sneak, and that's going to get the necessary yardage, I think, for a 1st down. Clock still rolling.
Yeah, the clock is ticking. That sort of took Moses Brown's front 4 off guard, going for the quarterback sneak on an earlier down than 4th down.
They stop the clock to move the stakes, and then it'll start again. It has started. 1:03 to go. Lincoln moving now inside the 40-yard line. Handoff. 35, 30, but still in bounds and trying to get out of bounds.
Great job.
Yeah, nice job there by Jaden Rodriguez.
It looks like they stopped the clock and whistled him out of bounds.
Clock is stopped with 50 seconds to go after he picked up about 4 or 5 yards on that play.
Yeah, a lot of times they won't give it to you because your forward momentum was stopped while you were inbounds if they whistle it, but he fought hard for that sideline. Now the clock is ticking.
Snap, the handoff. There goes number 11, Kyle Dussault. Dussault still going, and then dropped 30 seconds to go as he gets inside the 10-yard line. Oh, my. What a finish to this game tonight.
Timeout, Lincoln. Wow, Kyle Dussault, if he hadn't done enough already, makes another big play, breaks a tackle there at the end of the run, pops up, hurdles him, breaks that tackle, almost breaks another. Man, he is running hard, giving his team a chance to win here late. I said it was the biggest 1-point differential I'd ever really felt in a football game, and that Lincoln needed big plays that we hadn't really seen all game, but they're able to string together 2 or 3 in a row there to put their team at about the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. With 28 seconds left in this game, they're down by 1.
Well, strategy sessions going on both sides of the field as Sean Cavanaugh leading his Lincoln Lions, and over on the other side, Lorenzo Perry, first-year head coach for Moses Brown, the Quakers, sending his defense out. 1st and goal here with 28 seconds to go for the Lincoln Lions to try and put themselves ahead in this game. They trail 13-12.
Lincoln, no more timeouts remaining, so they will have to either get up again after if they don't get this in here. They'll go to the air. He throws.
Oh, almost intercepted. Oh, my. Wow.
Yeah, in and out of the hands of a Moses Brown would-be interceptor, and I believe one of his own guys tried to sneak it in through the middle while getting hit. Dangerous throw. What do we got there? Number 5, Taven Tondro. Got to make that play and seal the win, but it stops the clock, 24 seconds.
2nd and goal.
Risky.
Handoff. No timeouts left for Lincoln.
They'll have to get to the line right now and call a play as they try to
spike it, stop the clock.
Sneak Dussault through there. Boom.
That stops the clock with 9 seconds to go. I mean,
bring up 4th down though.
You know, they haven't in their 2 scores have not kicked the extra point. They've gone for 2, which leads you to believe that they're not real comfortable with the kicker.
Yeah.
So
if there were ever time to, sneak someone out there like a quarterback and say, hey, toe this through those uprights for me, be an athlete, now would be the time. But correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen anyone come on the field unless they have some sort of formation they can go to. They're going to go for it through the air, I would guess.
And I don't see anybody on the sideline kind of warming up a leg at all.
Yep. Nope, they come out in their usual set.
Got to throw here because you want to stop the clock. You run, you come up short. That's going to be it. What do I know, right?
Hey.
Here we go. The handoff, the 5, and out of bounds. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Lincoln. Wow. With 4 seconds to go, Moses Brown is questioning whether he did get into the end zone. But it is 6 points on the board for the Lions.
Jaden Rodriguez, they just give it to him on a sweep, hope he can get to the edge. He's the speed guy for Lincoln, and man, does he win this foot race. You can see it there. They just give it to him and say, win this for us. Some good block on the outside, but it's just a foot race right there, and he sneaks in the front pylon.
Wow.
I don't know if they have the ability to review that.
No.
1 foot out of bounds while he's reaching the ball. And
not in high school.
And they're up by 5, so they'll go for 2 here.
So back to pass, looking for 2 points. Run it in. Nope. Throws, and that is incomplete. So now the clock didn't roll on that play. Is it supposed to on the extra point?
That'd be an untimed down, so they'll have 4 seconds, for this kickoff return, or 1 play if he happens to kick it out of bounds. The question is, are they going to kick it to Eric Jeffries? We talked about him in the beginning of the game. What do you think right there? You see that right foot out of bounds.
Let's look. This is probably a better view of it here. Does he stick the ball out over?
Left foot in, right foot. Yeah, I think he's in. I think the ball just sneaks in past the pylon before that right foot comes down. Yeah, that ball's in right almost simultaneously to that right foot.
That's a tough call. That's a tough call.
You can look back at the left foot, too. That was very, very close on his left toes kind of.
Plus, I think the official was so close to it, he's probably watching the ball go over the goal line, not necessarily looking at his feet.
Yeah.
But it is a tough call.
If you call them on the inch line, they sneak it in after that, then you have no time to get retribution here. They've got a chance for Eric Jeffries, probably the most dynamic player on the field. He's a freshman. We've seen him on some jet sweeps, but he's back deep. I imagine Lincoln will try to kick it away from him, more on the side of Kyle DeSalt, but Kyle DeSalt, again, has been a dangerous player as well. They'll need to return this or somehow get upfield and get down with 1 to 2 seconds left and give themselves a chance for a Hail Mary or a trick play.
There it is. Ball rolling along. One of the up guys grabs it and still trying to find room. And he will finally be brought down as time expires. Wow. Lincoln collects their first win of the season as they score the winning margin with 4 seconds to go in the game. And the final score, 18-13. Our player of the game is going to be the young man who scored the go-ahead touchdown with 4 seconds left. Here it is, the play once again. Jaden Rodriguez.
Jaden Rodriguez, speedster, wins the race to the front pylon, does exactly what he's supposed to do and puts that ball late and inside his inside hand so he can sneak it over the pylon. Ball sneaks out of his hand just after crossing, but unbelievable finish to this game, a defensive battle, but somehow Lincoln able to come up with 3 or 4 chunk plays to go ahead with 4 seconds left.
All right, trophy presentation is coming up when the Ocean State Credit Union Friday Night Rivals, presented by Eric George and Associates, continues right after this.
I got to make. Wow! What an amazing finish, Coach. Oh, my word. How you feeling, bud?
Not sure right now. Still trying to catch my breath. Yeah.
It's no grace. Talk to me about the drive of this team, because, I mean, really down to the end. What was that like?
Well, we talked at halftime, and I told you about the effort and the attitude. It's always going to be there with this team, and I trust them, and I think everybody here tonight sees why.
All right. What do you got to do for next week? Who are you playing, and what the challenges you're going to face?
Well, we're fortunate enough to have a bye coming up, and especially after a battle like that tonight, we kind of need it. And then we got Shea coming up, which is going to be a real battle on a Thursday night. So every day we just got to find a way to get better.
All right, well, you got a bye week, so you have a little extra time to enjoy this, the Champions Trophy. Congratulations, Lincoln. You guys earned this one tonight. Frank, we'll send it back to you.
All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful sponsor partners, Ocean State Credit Union, Eric George, DMD and Associates, and Patriot Roofing, who through their contributions to this program make these games possible for you to view at home. Hey, we'd also like to thank our great sponsor supporters for their contributions to our 2024 Friday Night Rivals telecasts: Alpine Ski and Snowboard, The Original Chimney Sweep, Cardi's Furniture and Mattress, Euclid Financial Services, Rawlings Floor Coverings, Prime Heating and Cooling, South Shore Village, and Priority Automotive Group. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their continued supports. Next week, we are in Providence for the East Providence Mount Pleasant game. So until next Friday at 7 p.m., for Kyle Rowley, Ben DeCastro, our statistician Pete Connell, our entire Friday Night Rivals crew, I'm Frank Carpano. Thanks for watching and have a good night, everybody.